Hello, and welcome to Badly Animated D&D. I say badly because it'll lower your expectations and you won't be as disappointed with me. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my first time playing D&D. And by D&D, I really mean Pathfinder. But they're close enough, and D&D is more well known, so I'm going to call it that. I actually joined in an already running campaign, so before I talk about my first time, I'll give a little background information into what happened previously. The party had consisted of a human paladin named Larius, a ratman gunslinger named Sparks, a monk monkey named Goku. Yeah, you heard me? A monkey named Goku, who is a monk. Definitely not inspired by anything at all. Their adventure started off at level 1, so you can imagine the amazing adventures they were about to start. Maybe they were going to delve into a goblin mine and save a damsel the goblins had kidnapped to sacrifice for their god. Or maybe they were going to infiltrate a kobold camp where they'd come across an ogre wizard who had been using the kobolds in his nefarious plan to accumulate a massive amount of human bones so he could create an army of skeleton warriors. Or maybe they would help an old lady walk her cat. Right. So, the party is contacted by an old lady, the grandmother of a player character turned NPC, Kate. Kate's granny says that her cat has been acting very strange near a certain area when they go on their walks together. But she is too old and frail for walking lately, so she requests the party to walk her cat. As the party is walking the cat, when they get to that special area, it runs forth and turns around to the party. Then, the cat talks. It's a talking cat. It says, hey, there's a cave over there. And it points in the direction of a hidden cave. You should go check it out. And so they did. The party entered the cave, and while exploring it, they run into this dirty homeless man who calls himself an alchemist. He tells the party that another alchemist moved into town and ran him out of business and stole his home. He had to go into hiding and has been living in this cave ever since. The party then decides to continue their charity work and go from helping the elderly to helping the homeless. They agree to help the alchemist and head over to where the rich alchemist was staying. Larius the paladin goes up to the rich alchemist and tries to sell him a timeshare in the mystical land of Florida. While he is distracted, the rest of the party sneak up to his room to look for incriminating evidence. They find some papers and take it with them. They regroup later with the poor alchemist and go over their game plan. Apparently, Mr. Rich had noticed his papers missing and sent a letter to Mr. Homeless. It was an apology letter. He said he was sorry and he wanted to work things out. He said to meet him at the house in the basement alone, and they'll talk things out one-on-one. The party believes this is an obvious trap, and thus leads to me. Before the session I joined, Laris's player decided that D&D just wasn't for him and dropped out of the game. This just left the monkey and the ratman. The alchemist decides that's not enough people, so he tells them he knows somebody who could help them just in case this was an ambush. Sparks the rat goes and waits at the house while the alchemist takes Goku the monkey to the tavern, where they walk in and see a beautiful purple-haired wizard lady dancing on stage. This was Tessela Vera, my human wizard. After the performance, she proceeded to the bar and did what I presume we all did with our characters in our first D&D game. Get wasted. The alchemist approaches Tessela, and once she gets her attention, she turns around and says, "Oh, hey! I remember you. You're that guy who sold me potions." Excited to be remembered by such a beautiful woman, he responds, Yes, that was me. You remember me." To which she replied, "Those potions almost got me killed. They didn't work. I couldn't die because of you." He didn't know what to say. After some apologies, he began to ask my drunk wizard lady for help. "It's gonna cost you extra. If I'm gonna do some dangerous work, I'm gonna need you to throw in some potions for free." What? Who said anything about dangerous? This is a simple, small task. Don't worry. I already have 2 other great people that you'd be working with. "Well, if it's so simple, and they're so great, You wouldn't be coming to me for help. That was probably my first zinger of many to come. Eventually, he agrees to pay my character extra, and they proceed to the meeting house. When they entered the alchemist's old shop/house, Sparks was waiting for them in the shadows. Tesla caught a glimpse of him and shrieked. She started throwing empty flasks at him. She had never seen a giant talking rat person before. Sparks got her to stop and realized they were on the same team. She apologized and gave him a big hug. They then devised a game plan. Goku was to go downstairs into the basement, while Sparks and Tesla hid on the main floor. As he went downstairs, he was greeted by two of the rich alchemist's bodyguards. He turned a literal tail and headed back up the stairs to warn us. The rich alchemist stepped out of the shadows on the main floor and had the intention of closing the cellar door on Goku. Sparks proceeded to sneak behind him and kick him down the stairs before he could shut the door. Goku stepped to the side as the rich alchemist came barreling down the stairs. The party then, grouped together, proceeded into combat downstairs where the bodyguards were, as their leader was laying on the ground writhing in pain. After defeating the bodyguards, they turned the rich alchemist into the local authorities, winning the house and shop back for its original owner. Sometime after the party left the shop, they came across the cat again. The cat proceeded to tell them that he was actually a powerful wizard, and one of 3 guardians of the King's prophecy. Tesla, Sparks, and Goku were chosen to seek out the other guardians and obtain their powers to put a stop to some ancient prophecy. And thus was the end of the beginning of my adventures in D&D. Or Pathfinder. Whatever.